Good evening from Shuttleworth Park. This is Justin Cohen joining you for an Amsterdam Mohawks regular season finale. Tonight we play the Albany Dutchmen, who we will also play tomorrow in the first round of the playoffs. So we'll start off by running through some lineups, some notes of the game, and then we'll hopefully have game time. So leading off for Albany is Lucas Dunn out of Louisville. He's playing shortstop. Then we have John Malcolm out of Vanderbilt. Third is Griffin Herrera out of Azusa Pacific. Then we have Cameron Masterman in the cleanup spot out of Louisville. Jerry Hunsinger out of Seton Hall is playing catcher and batting fifth. Justin Wright out of St. John's is playing third base.
Number 39, Shane Muntz.
Hold on one moment here as I incorrectly transcribed something. Ubaldo Lopez out of Dartmouth is at first base. Michael Whalen is in center field out of St. Joe's. And Nick Estrella out of Azusa Pacific is playing second base tonight. The pitcher tonight for the Albany Dutchmen is Anthony Finelli out of Manhattan College, who's normally an infielder. And we will pause here real quick for the national anthem, and we'll be back with the Amsterdam Mohawks lineup.
Tonight's national anthem will be... The national anthem each night is sponsored by the Amsterdam PBA and GAVAC. The Mohawks are proud to be involved with and partners with Amsterdam's finest.
Ladies and gentlemen, singing tonight's national anthem, here is Amethyst Shear.
And we are back after a beautiful rendition of the national anthem. So for the Mohawks tonight, the starting lineup is Jake Hammond, who is in left field tonight out of Moorhead, batting leadoff. Richie Barella out of Manhattan College is batting second. Michael Ludwig, playing right field out of Wake Forest, is third. Tanner Allen, out of Mississippi State, is playing second base. Shane Muntz is catching out of Wake Forest. And quick pause here, as you can see, we have yet another motor vehicle on the to add to our tally here at Shuttleworth Park. We've had fire trucks and police cars and ambulances, and now we have stock cars. So there you go. Shane Muntz is catching out of Wake Forest. Joe Genord, who is out of USF, South Florida, is DHing. Justin Foscue out of Mississippi State is at third base tonight, batting seventh. Elvis Peralta Jr. out of Marshall is batting eighth, playing shortstop. And Mike Antico out of St. John's is batting ninth. And the Dutchmen the Mohawks have Matt Gonzalez out of Herkimer Community College starting tonight. Matt Gonzalez is new to the team. He has 1 inning pitched in 1 game, and he has 2 strikeouts in that inning, and no hits and no earned runs. So at least with that small sample size, he looks pretty good. Joe Genord was the star of the night last time we were at Shuttleworth Park. Joe now leads the team all-time in home runs and RBI. He has 15 home runs for his career as a Mohawk and 86 RBI. And I believe the next closest in RBI is somewhere around 65, so he has padded that lead quite well towards the end of the season. Something to watch for as we head into our last regular season game. Joe Genord needs 4 RBI to match his own single-season record of 45 RBI in a season, and he needs 1 more home run to tie the single-season record for home runs in a season. Albany's pitcher tonight, Anthony Finelli, he is listed as an infielder, but he does have 3.1 innings pitched in his career. He has 3 runs against him, but they're all unearned, and he has 1 strikeout. So another 0 ERA, so a battle of the Titans here as far as small sample size, but at least a good sample size. And then the other storyline to watch for tonight is that Albany and Amsterdam are playing tomorrow again, and tomorrow it counts. It's a best of 1 to advance to the PGCBL semifinals. So no matter what, we're here tomorrow at Shuttleworth Park. Well, I guess except for some rain that might be on the horizon. And so we'll be looking forward to some storylines as far as, how both coaches maneuver during this game, considering they don't want to give anything up for tomorrow, and they want to use their best pitchers tomorrow, that they can't really use them tonight. So we'll see how things go. And we'll pause here until first pitch. This is Justin Cohen for the Amsterdam Mohawks Radio Network on YouTube Live. And we are back now that we're through our first pitches and our pregame festivities here. We're running a little bit late because we had a pregame presentation for Joe Genord, who, as I mentioned earlier, is leading all-time in home runs and RBI and is closing in on the single season records for home run and RBI. And we'll see him tonight in the sixth spot, so we'll see how he does there. It's a little bit lower than he usually bats. Last time out for the Mohawks, we played the Saugerties Stallions in a game that for Albany, or for Amsterdam, didn't have a lot of consequence because Jamestown won, so we had no chance at the overall #1 seed. So even if we won, we were still playing Albany tomorrow for the play-in game to the semifinals. We lost that game 4-0. We snapped our 9-game winning streak, and Trip Lockhart took the loss, who allowed an unearned run in the 3rd inning. It's just unfortunate luck right there. Sardi scored 3 in the 6th for the only runs of the game. Richie Barella went 2 for 4 with a double, and Ludwig and Foscue added 2 hits each. Albany split yesterday in their doubleheader against Glens Falls. Tonight leading off, as I mentioned, was Lucas Dunn out of Louisville, and we are on our way as we have our first pitch for Dallas. And his first pitch catches the outside corner for a strike. Lucas Dunn out of Louisville has another teammate on in his starting lineup tonight. That would be Cameron Masterman out of Louisville. Lucas Dunn is 8 for 21 against the Mohawks this year as he fouls that one back. He also has runs scored, an RBI, 4 walks, and he struck out 6 times. So he's batting slightly over 340, somewhere around the 350 range. So I would look for him to have a pretty big night. Tonight is a bullpen day for the Mohawks, so we're going to expect a lot of pitching changes as that one's in low for a ball. Everybody's supposed to be covering 1 to 2 innings pitched. They already have their pitchers lined up. I know Zach Kerr is pitching the 7th and 8th, I believe, so we'll look for former intern Zach there. As that one catches the inside corner, even though Lucas Dunn faded away from the pitch. And we have our first out tonight on the strikeout looking. So the 4-pitch strikeout there. We're not looking for Matt Gonzalez to do too much, as this game doesn't have many consequences here, except for maybe some momentum or some emotional swing. Up next is John Malcolm, who's DHing tonight out of Vanderbilt. He takes that one in for a strike. We haven't seen a lot of Malcolm so far. He's only had 9 at-bats against the Mohawks. So we'll see. He's 2 for 9, but with that kind of sample size, he's only played 2 or 3 games against us as he swings and misses at that pitch. And Matt Gonzalez is already up 0-2 again. So 2 at-bats here, two batters he's faced, and he's already gone up 0-2 on both of them. It's a great way to keep your pitch count low and have the ability to chase some people away, throw stuff out of the strike zone. And we'll apologize for any signal errors with the stream, as that one's up and away for a ball, as the Wi-Fi at the stadium can be a little give and go. But we'll do our best to keep the stream alive as long as possible. So the 1-2 in from Gonzalez, and that'll be low. So 2-2, even count. There's only one other game of consequence on the schedule for the PGCBL tonight. That would be Saugerties at Watertown, and that one is lifted in the air, foul. That'll be well out of play into the woods. I actually didn't even see that one land. it was probably feet into the woods. So it'll remain 2-2. The Saugerties at Watertown game. If Watertown wins, they make the playoffs. If Watertown loses, they miss the playoffs, and Utica gets in. Utica isn't playing tonight, so Utica's fate rests in Watertown's hands. And the pitch is chopped on, and it'll go right back to the pitcher over to Barella, and that's out number 2. So a little bit deeper into the pitch count, made him work a little bit, but still got some light contact, as it was just a chopper towards the mound. We'll see Griffin Herrera next. He's out of Azusa Pacific. He has a history this year against the Mohawks. He is 7 for 21, but he also has drawn 4 walks, so that on-base percentage is quite high, as he swings and misses at that first off-speed pitch. It's a shady night tonight, but high humidity, as we do have that stretch coming in of, I think, 4 consecutive days of rain that we're experiencing, so hopefully we'll get through some playoffs. And swings and misses again. So 0-2 again for the 3rd straight batter. So we'll see. I know that there's a built-in off day for the playoffs this Sunday, so if the Mohawks make it that far. So that's when any rain delay game would be made up. And the pitch, the 0-2, is again chopped slowly towards the mound. Gonzalez just walks over, underhands it to Barella. And that's the side. So Gonzalez goes 1-2-3 to start the game for the Mohawks. And it's 0-0 after 0 hits for the Dutchmen in the top of the first inning. We'll head to the bottom of the first next. This is Justin Cohen on the Amsterdam Mohawks Radio Network on YouTube Live. Jake Hammond leads off to a nice round of applause from both the Amsterdam Mohawks crowd and also the Albany Dutchmen, as Jake Hammond had a scary injury at Sienna Fields playing against the Albany Dutchmen earlier this month. And he takes that first pitch high and away for a ball. He had a mild concussion and ended up being fine, but he was hit in the head with a pitch. So glad to see him back. He's been on quite a tear of late as he swings and misses. He was actually batting over 500 in his last 2 games before he got hit about 2-3 weeks ago at this point. But even with being out for the week and a half, Jake Hammond, as he chops that one foul, Jake Hammond's batting just a hair under 300 at 299 out of 107 at-bats. He's got 1 home run and 13 RBI to go along with 13 strikeouts and 8 walks. So a pretty consistent season. Nothing to complain about there with the 300 batting average as he settles in here for the 1-2 count. And the pitch, will foul that one straight back. Luckily the net was there for the other fans. If you actually go down the Mohawks stats sheet tonight, and you sorted it by batting average, the top 9 position players, as the pitch comes in, and Jake Hammond chops it over to Ubaldo Lopez out of Dartmouth, who just walks it over to first for the out. If you were to sort it by batting average and take the first 9, that's who's in your lineup tonight. So Coach Griffin going after batting average more than anything else, although there's certainly a correlation there with home runs and all the such. As Matt Padre's in a cast right now and Cole Barr's gone home, the top 9 are the ones in the starting lineup tonight. So next we have Richie Barella out of Manhattan. He's taking that first one for a ball. And that one comes inside and nicks him on the hand. So he'll trot down to first, and we'll have our first base runner of the game here. Not the way anybody wants to see a runner get on base, but, we'll take it.
Now batting. The right fielder from Wake Forest University.
Michael Ludwig's up next. Michael Ludwig leads the team in hits this year. He has 50 hits on the season, batting at a clip of 347, which leads the team among qualified batters. And he takes that first pitch in on the outside corner for a strike. Richie Barella sort of dancing around at first base, hoping for some movement to shake the pitcher. And that's, as I mentioned earlier, Anthony Finelli, who is an infielder by trade, but is playing pitcher tonight as he checks on Barella real quick. As I mentioned, I think for both of these teams, although I don't know for sure about the Dutchmen, it is a bullpen day, so we'll see a lot of different pitchers. Amsterdam's looking at 6, I believe, as he takes that one in the dirt, so that'll bring it to 1-1. Ludwig out of Wake Forest with Shane Muntz has been, and check out that interview if you haven't already on Facebook and Twitter. You're going to have to look a while back now. It was a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. As Barella takes a decent-sized lead from first. They've been quite the tandem, as that one's low, so it's 2-1 now. Still in the early going, though. It's 0-0. Nobody has a hit yet either, except for the pitcher hitting our batter. So we'll see how this game progresses, as I don't expect either team to really pull any stops, as that one's 2 feet above Ludwig's head, and that's an obvious ball, as it's 3-1. The Mohawks, after a 21-run game, their last time here at Shuttleworth Park against trying to remember here real quick, I believe it was the Elmira Pioneers. It was somebody out of conference or out of division, and I think I said their name so many times that I lost track. But we won 21-8, and with that win, we as Barella's running on the pitch, but that'll go foul, so full count here. So with the 21 runs, we actually moved up to top 5 in runs per game in the PGCBL, and so now we are top 5 in every metric that the PGCBL gives us: fielding percentage, on opponent batting average, earned run average, batting average, runs per game, and of course record. So our lowest one there is runs per game, and we're still scoring them at a rate of 6.24 as he takes that one on the outside corner. Michael Ludwig didn't seem too happy about that call, but it's out number 2 with the strikeout looking.
Now batting, the second baseman for Mississippi State.
Next up, we've got the Mississippi State product. It's Tanner Allen. He's in the cleanup spot tonight, and he's done pretty well since he's come to the Mohawks. He came about halfway, 2/3 of the way through the season for us. Tanner Allen threw 64 at bats, is batting .328 as he swings and misses at that one for strike 1. Allen already has 3 home runs though and 14 RBI in his 16 games. So although he's only played a third of the season here for the Mohawks, he's certainly been productive of late, and you can credit him as they check Barella over at first again. You can credit him and Justin Foskew's arrival for some of this offensive boost, along with Joe Genord, of course, who's at this point the greatest hitter in Mohawk history. As we get ready for the pitch again, and that one's high, so 1-1. Not as much control here out of Anthony Finelli, which, I mean, he's not a pitcher, so I can't blame him too much for anything. But he is on the mound, so we do have to hold him to a similar standard. But Foskew and Allen's arrivals really boosted that Mohawks runs per game, as that one's inside for ball 2. Because we were in the high single digits, in the 9, 10, 8 range, somewhere in there for most of the season, and then recently we've just exploded for games of 13 runs, of 21 runs, the 21 runs is an outlier, obviously, but that one's high for ball 3, so hitters count here 3-1 with 2 outs for Tanner Allen out of Mississippi State. The umpire tonight, at least the home plate umpire, is pretty distinctive with his call, which is good. Some big motions for us, so it's easy to tell from behind home plate where we were situated. As that one's away and low for a ball, so we've got 2 base runners on without recording a hit. And we've got Shane Muntz taking off his catcher's gear and coming up to bat. Shane Muntz in that 21-run game had a couple of at-bats where he had some trouble getting to the plate. He would forget his batting gloves and throw his bat, or he would just not realize he was up, or hit a foul ball and break his bat, and yet he still had a crazy night. He was 3 for 4 with 4 RBIs, so Shane Muntz, nothing to complain about there, and maybe it's better if he's a little frazzled heading up to the plate. The righty with a very distinctive stance. Pretty, as time is called at the last second there. I couldn't tell by who. I'm guessing the umpire just sort of called it, had something in his eye. Maybe Shane Muntz said something to him. But still nothing for the count. 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. As the pitch in is a strike inside corner. Probably right about thigh height. As this pitcher, Anthony Finelli, has yet to give up an earned run, so he has given up 3 runs though during his 3 innings. As Shane Muntz swings and misses, that was a big cut out of him, but did not connect. Otherwise, that one would have gone into the creek behind Shuttleworth Park. As he put all of his swing into that. And part of it here, I think, is the count's 0-2 now to Shane Muntz, is maybe he's trying to get these bases loaded, or at least a couple of base runners on for Joe Genord, who's on deck. And Shane Muntz fouls that one off, so the count will remain 0-2 as it goes behind the backstop over near the parking lot. Maybe it's hitting our stock cars that we have back there that they were revving their engines earlier before the game, trying to scare everybody. Now, showing off a little bit, as it is NASCAR night here at the stadium. So everybody wearing NASCAR gear got $1 off. And the pitch in from Finelli is lined just foul up the third baseline. Coach Griffin was pointing as if that one was fair. He was waving Richie Barella home, but unfortunately for Mohawks, that one was foul by a foot or 2, as the home plate umpire had a pretty nice angle on it, as did we up here. It's a pretty full night for a Tuesday at Shuttleworth Park, as they're looking to see their Eastern Division champs. And, ooh, that one on the low outside corner was a strike. And Shane Muntz is caught looking, so that's the second strikeout of the inning. No runs on no hits, 2 left on base for the Mohawks. As we head to the top of the second, this is the Amsterdam Mohawks Radio Network on YouTube Live.
And also
And we are back here for the top of the second. Matt Gonzalez remains out of Herkimer College. He will pitch his second inning and probably his final inning, although he may go 3. We have Cameron Masterman out of Louisville, who's playing right field tonight, leading off for Albany. He on the season is batting a solid .357, pacing the rest of the team. That's with 126 at-bats, so that'll qualify. And he has 23 runs and 27 RBIs. He takes that one high for a ball. He also only has 1 home run. The Dutchmen, not exactly as powerful as the Mohawks in the power department, as Gonzalez's second pitch is inside, so it's 2-0 now, in pure opposition to the start of the first inning for Gonzalez, where he had all 3 hitters at an 0-2 count right off the bat. And Gonzalez quickly falls behind in the second at 3-0. Gonzalez only with the 1 inning pitched in 1 game so far for the Mohawks, so I don't know if it's an issue with his arm as far as how many innings he can pitch, as that's a 4-pitch walk for Cameron Masterman. As Gonzalez will go back and sort of check things up.
Number 4, Jerry Munson.
play around with the defense, try and get them in a double play depth.
Hey folks, check your pockets. If you want the turkeys for a GMC, come on over to the first base dugout. I got them.
And
GMC car keys, come on over to the first
next
base
up
dugout.
is Jerry Hunsinger, who's catching tonight, Seton Hall. Hunsinger is batting .298 as a catcher, 104 at-bats, 1 home run, as he swings and misses his first offering, and Gonzalez is back up on a 0-1 count. So as I was saying earlier, the Dutchmen not exactly super strong in the power department. They have 2 guys with 5 home runs. That's Golston Gillespie, who's not in tonight, and Ubaldo Lopez. As we have a quick check of the runner at first. Lopez we won't see until the 7th spot tonight, so he's in the hole right now. Gonzalez, a late addition to the team, as he pitches, and it's 0-2, so 5 batters now Gonzalez has faced, and he's been ahead on 4 of them. A strike thrower clearly, although he has gotten a few swings and misses that have been out of the zone. A healthy lead out of at first base now is the third base coach for Albany sends over some signs. With 0-2 and 0 out, I wouldn't be expecting a steal, but double play ball, the third baseman over, and he's called safe at first. The turn over by Tanner Allen not quite fast enough. The exchange was a little bit slow there between Justin Foscue and Tanner Allen, something you might not expect from teammates that have gone through this, all through the spring into the College World Series semifinals. But they called him out. I could have sworn that that the umpire called him safe. Never mind then. Gonzalez will have 2 outs. And we'll get a swing and miss out of Justin Wright. Wright playing third base tonight. As a Mets fan, that won't be hard for me to forget. Hard for me to remember as he fouls that one back, 0-2. As the umpire is now hunting for some baseballs, but the ball boy a little bit slow to get out. So the 0-2 pitch here could end the inning right now, facing the minimum. Still with no hits so far in the game for either team. As the check swing there fouls one off behind home plate, over our skyboxes and into the parking lot. We had a knocker ball demonstration before the game today. Always fun to see. Great sponsor for the Mohawks. And definitely recommend, if you haven't at least seen a demonstration, seeing one of them. And the pitch there is low and outside as Shane Muntz goes to cover it up, and it's 1-2. So as we get ready for the playoff race, it'll be all over by August 8th. But as far as how far the Mohawks go, it's yet to be determined, as Wright fouls off another one. Still 1-2, as that is now 3 straight foul balls for Justin Wright here, as he stays alive against Gonzalez. And a couple of Mohawks warming up in the bullpen, which is expected, as that one swung on and missed, and Gonzalez is out of the second. So, once again for the Dutchmen, no runs on no hits with nobody left on base. We'll head to the bottom of the second with the Mohawks up, with Janord, Foscue, and Peralta going on this inning. Nice little bottom of the order. And we will head to the bottom of the second. This is the Amsterdam Mohawks Radio Network on YouTube Live. Joe Genord will leave it off the bottom of the second for the Mohawks here. So we have a couple of people leaving the field. That would be Assemblyman Angelo Santa Barbara, who is here with his son for Autism Awareness Night, as Genord will take that one in the dirt. Could have sworn that hit his foot the way it bounced off and into the netting, but maybe Genord declines the hit by pitch, and it'll be 1-0 for Genord here. And he'll swing and miss at that one, so it's 1-1 now. Genord on a tear of late. He actually had 2 home runs in the same inning on Saturday. That would be the 9-run 8th, as that pitch is in the dirt for a ball. The Mohawks batted 1.5 times around, and Genord will get ahead of that one as it fades into the woods again. As we are going through baseballs at a rapid pace, where the ball boy that's his 3rd or 4th trip already out there in 2 innings. So Genord at the set again, takes that one in the dirt. Full count here. Didn't look like the umpire was totally ready when Anthony Finelli threw the pitch there, but it was in the dirt, so it wasn't especially hard for him to call, even if he wasn't really watching. And that one will hit him. It was inside anyways, so that's his 2nd hit batter of the game. And his still no hits for the Mohawks, but it is their 3rd base runner. As perhaps this Joe Genord's getting the Barry Bonds treatment, where he's just getting on base with walks instead of doing the damage with home runs. Something the Mohawks will take is they have a stacked lineup even without Joe Genord. Joe Genord not the speediest on the base path by any means, as that one is in for a ball. Joe Genord only has 3 stolen bases on the year, but him DHing, he doesn't have to worry about saving it for the field, as that one's low and inside for a ball. Seems like since the 1st inning, the umpire's strike zone has tightened a little bit, as I think that would have been called for a strike in the 1st, but and we had a false start there by Adam Agresta, our normal play-by-play announcer, who is our PA announcer tonight. And the umpire decided to pause it real quick, make sure we were set. As Foscue gives that one a ride deep to left field. Ranging back is the center fielder Michael Whalen, and he'll make the catch. So Genord races back to 1st to avoid being doubled up. That one went a solid 370. But the deep capacity of Shuttleworth Park and Michael Whalen from St. Joe's was able to rein that one in. Elvis Peralta Jr. now at bat. He's batting lefty tonight against the righty Finelli. And he'll be, he actually was also honored before the game. He's tied as he takes that one in for a ball. Genord will be running. And the throw in from Jerry Hunsinger is late, so on the wild pitch there, Joe Genord will get into scoring position, so it'll be 1-0 with 1 out. Elvis Peralta honored before the game. He is as he will Elvis Peralta has tied the single season record for triples for the Mohawks with 5. So a speedster. Now batting at the back end of the lineup in the 8th spot, as that one's bounced well in front of the plate. Good 6-7 feet, and it's 2-0 already to Peralta. Peralta getting set here, a fan favorite, as he is getting plenty of encouragement. And the pitch in on the 2-1 is fouled off, as multiple Albany Dutchmen race out to retrieve the ball. Interesting to swing on a 2-0 count with a Although it is a hitter's count, we don't have a strike thrower at the on the mound right now. Although that one was in the strike zone. Just interesting, but just doing it for the reps. And Elvis is ahead of that one, so it'll be 2-2, even count. Runner on second in a 0-0 ball game. We could have a pitchers with multiple pitchers, not just one for each side, duel on our hands, as we're expecting to see probably 10 different pitchers as the night goes on. And the 2-2 to Peralta is low and inside, so it'll be a full count now to Peralta with one out. No breeze to speak of here at Shuttleworth, with a little bit of breeze to center field. That hit by Foskey may have been out, as Peralta will take that one low, and he's on with a walk. So the fourth base runner of the inning, of the game so far for the Mohawks, and we haven't made contact with the ball to get on to do it. Had a couple of nice hits, as we have a pitching mound visit from the catcher, Jerry Huntsinger. Mike Antico in the 9 spot tonight's been slumping lately. He's batting .245 on the season, but was up much higher earlier in the season. On the other hand, he is 5 for 23 against the Albany Dutchmen, so just a hair. 5 for 20 is a hair under 250, as Peralta is picked off by Huntsinger, going behind the batter Antico. So it is a two outs in the inning now, as Huntsinger throws it to Ubaldo Lopez, who stops Peralta in his tracks, as Peralta was caught 5-10 feet off the bag by the time the throw got over there. So it's not so great base running for the Mohawks, but Joe Genord's still in scoring position, and the pitch in is in the dirt, so it's 1-1. Heads up play there by Huntsinger to get the runner. Peralta, I'm not sure why he was so far off the bag. They might have had a hit and run in motion or something, but there was no swing, so could be a sign that he was getting from Coach Griffin, but I doubt it with the slower Genord at second. So that one's high, so it's 2-1 now. As the crowd settles in, they've gotten their concessions and such, and they're starting to pay attention to the game. And that one on the inside corner looked a little bit high, but it's 2-2 now to Antico. We've got a nice crowd tonight in the Wasserman Foundation Sky Deck. Nice group of 30 to 40 individuals who have decided to take in a Mohawks game. And the 2-2 to Antico is inside. It looked like it might have hit him, but he got out of the way, so it's a full count now to Antico. The Genord on second. Still no score here, even with lots of base runners for the Mohawks in the early going. As Antico sits at the ready, waiting for the pitch, and swung on, and it's in the gap, left center gap, as both race on, and the left fielder Griffin Pereira will end up getting it. So that's 3 outs for the Mohawks. That's 0 runs with 0 hits and 2 left on base. As we head to the top of the third, this is the Amsterdam Mohawks Radio Network on YouTube Live. As we get ready here for the top of the third in a 0-0 ball game, we just welcome to the field 4 veterans for our weekly Veteran Tuesdays, where any veteran gets into the ballpark free, and we celebrate and thank a few of them on the field each game. As Matt Gonzalez returns for his third inning of work, he's only 26 pitches in. 18 of those have gone for strikes, so he's only thrown 8 balls on the night. Something that is great to see for a team trying to see which pitchers we have going into the playoffs. His first pitch into Ubaldo Lopez is a ball low and away. Ubaldo is tied for the lead right now in home runs for the Dutchmen on the active roster, as that one's away, so it's 2-0. We have Brad Boussault up in the bullpen right now, who's been a reliever for us all year. He has 16.1 innings pitched, so in 11 appearances. We'll get more into him as we head throughout the night, I'm sure, as that one's in for a strike on the outside corner. Defense playing pretty straight away, but a pretty large gap in between second and short, as Peralta is closer to the third base side than many might set up, as that one rides inside from Gonzalez, so it'll be a quick 3-1 count. So as soon as I start lauding how many strikes Gonzalez has thrown, he goes 3-1 against me, so not a fortune teller, just a play-by-play guy. As the 3-1 to Lopez is low for a ball, so that's the either first or second walk of the night for Gonzalez. And we'll have a runner on first to start off the third inning for the Dutchmen. We've got Michael Whalen out of St. Joe's coming next. Whalen
now batting.
might not, oh, there he is. He has a 0 batting average out of 3 at-bats in 2 games. This may be his first game started then. He has 1 walk and 1 strikeout as well. He'll take that first one for a strike. Whalen out of St. Joe's. Either a bench player or a replacement / additional player, as Lopez takes a pretty sizable lead at first before Gonzalez steps off the mound. Out to a 2 or 3 stride lead. Gonzalez will give him a check as he gets ready to go. And that one's a double play ball. Foscue to Allen, over to Barella, and that's another double play for the Mohawks. That's their second one they've turned in 2 innings. And so once again, the bases are clean for Matt Gonzalez. That's his the second double play ball he's induced. So Nick Estrella comes up next out of Azusa Pacific.
Azusa Pacific. Number 1, Nick Estrella.
Estrella we've seen Estrella for 13 at-bats. He's got a hit in 4 of them, with an RBI and 3 runs scored. So he's been pretty successful against the Mohawks so far this season, as that one's low and away for a ball. We're missing some of the bigger Albany Dutchmen contributors, as Seltzer and McNamee and Gillespie and Collette are all out, and they're regulars now on the Dutchman lineup. As that one's grounded over to Foscue, who will ship it over to Barella, and Matt Gonzalez once again faces the minimum. So 0 runs on 0 hits for the Albany Dutchmen as we head to the bottom of the third in a scoreless game. This is the Amsterdam Mohawks Radio Network on YouTube Live. And we'll have the top of the order up for the Mohawks as Jake Hammond's leading us off again. We had another knocker ball presentation there during the in-between innings as we head to the bottom of the third. And I got to tell you, the Albany Dutchmen coaching staff did not look all that pleased with it as Hammond lofts one into center field, which is quickly caught by Michael Whalen. And that's one pitch, one out for Anthony Finelli. Yeah, the knocker ball presentation, which for those of you who don't know, it's those big hamster ball type things, as you can put your feet hang out and you can run around in them. And it happened right in front of the third base dugout where the Albany Dutchmen are situated, and they didn't seem to have that jolly reaction that the rest of the Amsterdam Mohawks crowd had. So interesting. As Borello on the first pitch will swing and pop one over the second baseman, Nick Estrella. So a quick inning so far for Finelli. He's only thrown 2 pitches and he has 2 outs.
Now that the right fielder.
We'll see if Wake Forest product Michael Ludwig will be able to at least stay in there for another pitch or two. I know Coach Griffin loves that first pitch hitting, but we certainly don't want them to get out of it with 3 pitches, as that one's high and away for a ball, so we'll have to throw at least 4 this inning. The Dutchman pitchers not had a super fast fastball or great off-speed stuff, but he still had held the Mohawks scoreless through 2 innings, as that one's low for a ball. It's 2-0. Pitch 3 in is grounded over to Nick Estrella, the second baseman. Ludwig runs down the line, but he's beaten by a stride or 2. So we will head to the top of the 4th here in a scoreless game. No runs on no hits for the Mohawks, no left on base. And this is the Amsterdam Mohawks Radio Network on YouTube Live. And we are back after a 6-pitch bottom of the 3rd for the Mohawks. Matt Gonzalez remains on the mound for a 4th inning of work. So either Coach Griffin's pleased with what he's seen so far, or this was the plan all along. I'm not sure which. As the first pitch in to leadoff hitter Lucas Dunn is high and away for a ball. So for what was supposed to be a bullpen day, perhaps since Gonzalez is pitching so well, as that one's cut on and missed for a strike, it's 1-1 now. Coach Griffin decided to leave Gonzalez out there as long as he was pitching so well, as it's all zeros on the scoreboard right now for both the Mohawks and the Dutchmen. And that pitch will hit him. That just got him in the shoulder, though, as the umpire will walk out. It doesn't look like any warning was delivered. So the Dutchman will have a runner on first after Lucas Dunn takes one off the shoulder.
Number 10, John Malcolm.
And we'll have the designated hitter, John Malcolm, up next. Malcolm, as I mentioned, is out at Vanderbilt. He'll We'll take a, let's see, we'll take a 200 batting average into the game, as that was apparently the final straw for Matt Gonzalez, as Coach Griffin gave him one more base runner, or perhaps one more batter. So we'll have a pitching change here at Shuttleworth Park, I'm pretty sure. I saw him call over to the bullpen, but I don't want to sign off until I know for a fact. As the third base coach, who may also be the head coach for Albany, trots over to talk to John Malcolm. And now it looks like Matt Gonzalez will stay in the game. Somewhat surprising, considering that the Mohawks have had a couple of relievers up for a couple of innings right now. But we'll stick around here with Matt Gonzalez still on the mound and John Malcolm still at the plate. Malcolm so far on the night, he is 0 for 1. He grounded out to the pitcher. It was the first contact made against Gonzalez all night, and Gonzalez took it himself over to the first baseman as he fouls that one off. Hits the tin roof behind the Dutchman dugout and hops into the woods to meet up with its other baseball friends. There have been 4 or 5 now that have gone back there. Something that is common, so we'll have a decent lead at first by the Louisville product, Lucas Dunn. And the 0-1 is high. It looked like a pitch out, honestly, as they were trying to get Dunn off the bag. Dunn has looks like 16 stolen bases on the season. The Albany Dutchmen, known often for their speed, are third in the league right now with 105 steals. So we'll be looking for them to run a lot, not just tonight, but tomorrow as well. As Lucas Dunn will take off, sure enough. And the throw was not in time, but they'll catch Lucas Dunn off the bag as he overslid the bag. And Lucas Dunn is out. So that'll be a 1-2 count to John Malcolm. With the bases clears, the umpire will have a quick discussion with the Albany coach. And that was a nice hold by Elvis Peralta Jr. to make sure that he had his glove on the runner Dunn the entire way. So otherwise he would have been safe. As Shane Muntz, even with the fantastic arm, as he is a part-time pitcher, part-time catcher, part-time DH, as that one's called strike 3 looking. Shane Muntz would have had him, probably wouldn't have had him even with the perfect throw, but it was fast enough, certainly, that Lucas Dunn didn't have enough time to scramble back to the bag as he had just slipped off. So Griffin Herrera will come up. Herrera is also 0 for 1 on the night. He also grounded out to the pitcher along with John Malcolm. And the first pitch into Herrera is in for a strike. Matt Gonzalez has still faced the minimum. Through 3 2/3 innings, he's faced 11 batters. He's gotten 2 double plays and a caught stealing, along with a 1-2-3 inning in the first. As that one is swung on and missed, it bounces off the plate, and it's 0-2. Griffin Herrera with 14 strikeouts on the season, so wouldn't look for him to strike out here. As he fouls that one back, remains 0-2. So a strikeout, he's only played 33 games out of the, the Dutchmen have played significantly less games than the Mohawks. The Dutchmen have only played 42 games compared to the Mohawks' 45. which is part of the 2.5 game lead the Mohawks have on the Dutchmen that helped them clinch the division, as that one's bounced in front of the plate by Gonzalez, and it's 1-2 with 2 outs. So Griffin Herrera only with 33 games played right now. Still with the .313 batting average and 7 doubles. He's been productive in the lineup. He does have 3 home runs as well to go along with 21 RBI, as that one's just low, so it'll be 2-2. Looks like we have a couple of pitchers already in the bullpen should that problem arise, but with the way Matt Gonzalez has been pitching, it seems like he might go the whole game. That one's bounced in front of the plate again, and we'll have our first full count of the night against the Dutchmen. Already in the 4th inning, so we've been talking about how efficient he's been with his pitch count, and sure enough, I mean, we're in the 4th inning with 2 outs, as that one's away for a ball, so we'll have another runner on. It'll be impossible for Gonzalez to face the minimum through 4 here, as he can't erase the runner at first with a double play. Cameron Masterman will be up next. He walked in his first at-bat. Masterman's out of Louisville as well, with Lucas Dunn, who was caught stealing earlier in the inning. As that one's low and away, Shane Muntz loses it, and the base runner will trot down to second. That's Griffin Herrera, who trots down to second. Uncontested, as Shane Muntz lost the ball. He thought it had popped up in the air when really it had died at his feet. So he was looking up as everybody else was pointing down. So it's 1-0 to Masterman now. Masterman 5 for 18 against the Mohawks this season. Not a great line. He's just above. Oh, so that swung on and missed. It's 1-1. Somewhere in the 260s. So the 1-1 to Masterman here with 2 outs. Runner on second. Big lead by Herrera as that one's low and away. It's ball 2. As that one's just low, so a 3-1 count now to Masterman, as Gonzalez is in danger of walking back-to-back men. Masterman's actually batting .278 against the Mohawks this year, as that one's high and away for ball 4. So we'll have 2 base runners on for the Mohawks, or for the Dutchmen. As for the first time, we have an actual scoring threat here against the Mohawks. Richie Burrell will come in from first base, have a quick chat. Maybe he noticed something from the Dutchmen, either the coaches or the hitters. Shane Muntz also wanted the message relayed to him, so he came out to the mound. Game of telephone, first baseman to the pitcher, pitcher to the catcher. As we'll set up again, this time we'll have Jerry Hunsinger up. Jerry Hunsinger hit into a double play in his last at-bat. It was a close play at first, though. He's rather slim for a catcher. Is that one? I'm not sure where that was, but it's ball 1. It's 1-0. Does it look pretty good to me? Hunsinger, not your normal catcher frame. He's 6'2", 175 pounds. Out of Seton Hall, he's a freshman. And that one swung and fouled off to the backstop. Hunsinger tall and lanky. Almost more of a pitcher's build than a catcher's build, but He's catching tonight for the Dutchmen, as he has for most of the season. Huntsinger is going to take that pitch, and it'll be 2-1. With Masterman Herrera on the base paths, we have a lot of speed between the two of them, as they've combined for they've combined for 18 steals between the two of them, 9 apiece. I think I said that it was Lucas Dunn who had 16, who was thrown out earlier in the inning. The 3-1 swung on and deep to left field. That one has a chance, but Jake Hammond will corral it in right on the about 5-10 feet from the wall. So no runs on no hits for the Dutchmen. 2 left on base as we head to the bottom of the 4th in a 0-0 game. This is the Amsterdam Mohawks Radio Network on YouTube Live. And we will have the bottom of the 4th now. Tanner Allen will lead us off. The pitcher, Anthony Finelli, at 50 pitches is back out there, and he quickly falls behind 2-0 to Tanner Allen. As we mentioned earlier, Tanner Allen, late to the season, he's only had 9 at-bats against the Dutchmen. 10 plate appearances. He has drawn a walk as well. And he's in a good place to get his second walk against the Dutchman now, as he's ahead 3-0. And that'll be a 4-pitch walk, as that one was high and outside. So the Mohawks will have yet another base runner as we still don't have any hits here for either team, but the Mohawks have certainly had an edge in base runners, as they have walked, looks like 3 times and gotten hit by a pitch twice. So they've had 5 base runners to the Dutchmen. 2. Well, the Dutchmen have had 4 base runners, I believe, but 2 left on base throughout the game, both last inning, as Matt Gonzalez found himself in a little bit of trouble before he got out of it. Shane Muntz swings at the second pitch, already down 0-1. And he will foul that one into the concession stand. So we've got Tanner Allen at first base, Shane Muntz at the plate. Shane Muntz behind 0-1. And that one's on the low outside corner, so it's 0-2. Nice off-speed pitch there from Finelli. Finelli out of Manhattan is Richie Barella's teammate, not during summer ball, but during summer ball they're rivals. As they're on crosstown teams, as Shane Muntz will ground that one to short, over to second, over to first for the double play. So that'd be Tanner Allen, who's quickly erased from the base paths, as Dunn, Estrella, and Lopez combined for the double play. Quickly 2 outs for the Mohawks again. But we will have Joe Genord. It'll be interesting to see how the Dutchmen treat Joe Genord throughout the night. He was hit by a pitch earlier in this game, and is certainly a power hitter, a power to be reckoned with in the middle of the Mohawks lineup. As that off-speed pitch is in there for a strike, it's 0-1. 2 outs here in a scoreless game. We're almost through 4 innings here. As the lights are on and our main source of light, as that's quickly over to the shortstop and over to first. So another quick inning for Anthony Finelli as he hovers around 60 pitches to get through 4 innings. And we'll have our Fairway Carts Unlimited bullpen cart come out, and we'll see who comes out for the top of the 5th inning to pitch for the Mohawks. That's 0 runs on 0 hits, 0 left on base. This is the Amsterdam Mohawks Radio Network on YouTube Live. And Brad Boussault will take over for us to start. He'll face Justin Wright, the third baseman. Boussault jumps out to a 1-2 count. Bussault on the year, taking 16.1 innings pitched, 16 hits, so as that one's fouled off Justin Wright's ankle. Remains 1-2. Bussault with an 8.26 ERA. He's let up 15 runs, 19 runs, 15 of those earned. As the 1-2 to Wright is outside. And it looks like we're back. We apologize for the signal that got lost there. While we were gone, the Dutchmen got their first hit of the night. And the runner advanced on the pass ball. Oh. So we have a runner on second, 2 outs. Nick Estrella at the plate with a 1-1 count. That's Michael Whalen. As the stream's gone dead again. Pitch into Estrella is cut on and missed. 1-2 count. So Bussault will look to get out of this one with another score, even though he gave up the first hit of the game, and it's in the top of the 5th inning. That's the first hit for either team, actually. And that one's cut on and missed by Nick Estrella. So no runs on 1 hit, 1 dropping of the Wi-Fi, and 1 left on base as we head to the bottom of the 5th. This is the Amsterdam Mohawks Radio Network on YouTube Live. as we head to the bottom of the 0-1, now 0-2. As he's fouls consecutive balls back to the backstop. That one actually went off of the overhang and bounced over towards first base. So the Mohawks still looking for their first hit. Foscue grounds one up to the the third baseline, but it trickles foul at the last second. And it'll be 0-2 to Justin Foscue still, as that's his third consecutive foul ball, as he's keying in on something with the Albany pitcher, but still a little bit ahead of him. Well, he was a little bit behind first, and then he jumped ahead of him. So now we'll see the 0-2 count with 0 outs leading off the inning. And that one's low and away for a ball. Foscue not swinging at that one. Foscue came with Tanner Allen earlier this season, as they've both been here for around 20 games. As that one by Foscue swung on and just foul again. That's the second ball this at bat that's been maybe a foot or two just foul, as Coach Griffin tries to convince the umpire that it was fair, but he does not win that argument, pointing fair ball all the way to no success. Foscue's batting .315 through 54 at-bats in 16 games. And that one's low and away. It evens up the count at 2-2. Allen and Foscue right next to each other in the batting average category for the Mohawks. Allen .328, Foscue .315, nobody in between. Both playing in the infield, as that one's high and away for a ball. It's 3-2. So full count here to Foscue, as Anthony Finelli remains on the mound, and that'll hit Foscue in the noggin. He looks to be okay as he jogs onto first base after taking off his shin guard. Doesn't look like the training staff or Coach Griffin will even have to check in, as Foscue waves them off. He'll try and lay down a bunt, but it's in the dirt, so he can't. Foscue thrown out at second. He is very unsure about that, as an Albany Dutchman coach comes up to the mound, to the plate, says something to the umpire. We're not really sure what that was, as the umpire called Foscue out, so I'm not entirely sure what he was angry about. Nonetheless, it's a 1-0 count after that ball in the dirt, and Foscue got thrown out, so 1 out. Elvis Peralta Jr. swings and misses, so it's 1-1 to Peralta now. Peralta leads the team in strikeouts. He has 45 strikeouts. Then again, he is batting over 300. So that swung on and missed. It's 1-2. So consistently striking out a lot, but when he does make contact, it's productive for the Mohawks. As I mentioned earlier, he is tied for the team single-season record for triples with 5, as that one's high, and it's 2-2. Peralta at the 2-2. He'll take that one in the dirt, and it's 3-2 now. 1 out after Foscue thrown out at second. Peralta with plenty of experience against a Dutchman. He's 12 for 28, so an outstanding clip. And he'll take that one high for a walk. So the full count, Elvis Peralta Jr. pushes Finelli to a full count before drawing the walk. Something we haven't seen very much from Elvis this year, is that's only his 6th walk of the season, as that is what looks to be the lowest out of players that consistently play. The only one near him would be Richie Nitza, who is not in tonight and has 70 less at-bats than Peralta. So now we'll have Mike Antico in the 9-hole up. Elvis running on the pitch. That's a strike, and a strike by the catcher, too. Although Elvis also overslid the bag, but got back on before the shortstop Lucas Dunn realized that he slid off the bag, and he's Elvis Peralta Jr. with the steal there, as we'll have a mound visit by the coach after Elvis Peralta Jr. gets a steal a second. Elvis got a great jump on that one, but the catcher Jerry Hunsinger threw with his cannon to second base. It was a great throw from home plate to second base, but the shortstop Dunn applied the tag a little bit late and then didn't realize that Peralta slid off the bag and was able to get back on, as the entire infield is now in with the pitcher, as Mike Antico talks to Coach Griffin. And we'll mention again, for any of you joining us recently or who have been frustrated, we apologize for any buffering that might have happened, or skipping out on the part of YouTube as it jumps back and forth frequently between working great and not working at all. Next summer we're going to have a new Wi-Fi provider, so we'll see how that goes. As Mike Antico will take that pitch in for a strike, and it's 0-2, as that pitch where Elvis Peralta Jr. stole second was actually a strike, as it was on the outside half of the plate, but clearly it was not a pitch out, as Peralta threw. Peralta being held on by Lucas Dunn, as Lucas Dunn then scrambles over to the hole, and Mike Antico makes some nice contact, although it's fouled off, and into the woods. So it'll remain 0-2 to Antico. Antico's only struck out once so far against the Albany Dutchmen in 23 at-bats before tonight, although he is down 0-2 now. And Antico swings at that one. It's popped up. Third baseman and catcher both convene. It's the third baseman, Justin Wright, who settles under it and makes the catch for the second out. So it's Peralta at second, and the top of the order, Jake Hammond up. As we mentioned earlier, Hammond might have a bone to pick with the Albany Dutchmen, as they hit him in the head earlier, purely on accident, but still. He is 9 for 23 on the season against the Albany Dutchmen, batting close to 400 there, if not over. And Hammond swings at the first pitch, and it's up the middle. That'll be Peralta rounding third. Close play at the plate. Peralta actually in standings. Hammond's on with a single. RBI single for Jake Hammond, as Elvis Peralta crosses home plate, and the Mohawks take a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the fifth. A 2-out run, something that was so important for the Mohawks in their last games. 11 runs. Their last game at Shuttleworth Park, is they scored 11 runs, all with 2 outs out of their 21 total. Here they go again with a 2-out run, and that'll be the second mound visit of the inning for Anthony Finelli, and so he'll probably be off for a new pitcher, and we'll see who that is. So Richie Barella will not be able to face his Manhattan teammate one more time, as Finelli's had the better of Barella, as Finelli hit Barella with a pitch in his first plate appearance and then made Barella pop out to the second base. But we'll take a break here as the new pitcher takes his warm-up pitches. The Mohawks take the lead, though. It's 1-0 the Dutchmen, the Amsterdam Radio Network on YouTube Live. It'll be Nick Bruno into pitch. Nick Bruno, who we believe to be no pitching experience this season, or at least this summer. As we hunt for his name, Nick Bruno out of Siena College. His first pitch is in for a ball. It was the first hit allowed by Anthony Finelli that did him in. He allows 1 run on 1 hit, although he does walk 4 and hit 3. So he allows 8 base runners through 4 2/3, throwing 78 pitches. And Borrell will swing it to second offering, and it's 1-1 as he fouls that one off behind home plate. As we continue to try and find Nick Bruno. So it's Jake Hammond at first after he gets the RBI single to bring Peralta in. That's also your scoring summary in the 1-0 game. Hammond running. As that hits Barella in the hands, we'll make sure he's okay. Hammond looked to be swinging on the pitch. And that'll be a strike, as it might have hit off the end of his bat, or he may have swung at it, but he appears to be okay. They're ruling that a foul ball since Jake Hammond's walking back to first base. So a foul ball off of Richie Barella's hands. Looks to be okay, though. So it'll be a 1-2 count with 2 outs here for Nick Bruno. As it is, at this point, essentially dark, with our only light being the outfield lights. Hammond running again. Lucas Dunn leading off the top of the 6th for the Dutchmen. The Dutchmen facing their first deficit of the evening after Anthony Finelli lets up a run on a Jake Hammond single. Dunn swings at the first pitch, and he'll be on with a single as that one trickles past the second baseman, Allen. So now we have 3 hits between the 2 teams, 2 for the Dutchmen.
Now adding the designated hitter from Vanderbilt, number 10, John Malcolm.
That was also the top of the order for the Dutchmen, so it's John Malcolm up next. Dunn taking another lead. He was thrown out in the previous inning. He was caught stealing after a great throw by Shane Muntz. Caught him, and Shane Muntz will let that one by as it glances off of his glove, and Lucas Dunn speeds over to second base, so it's a runner in scoring position. Brad Boussault remaining on the mound for the Mohawks. He's a lefty throwing to a lefty in John Malcolm. Boussault's next offering is in for a strike, and it's 1-1, still no out in the inning. No Mohawks were traded today in the on deadline day for the MLB non-waiver trade deadline, as Dunn was running, and looked like Lucas Dunn beat the throw, but his foot came off, and yet he's safe on third with a steal, as third baseman Justin Foscue didn't quite get the tag down in time. As some signals come in from the dugout. It just occurred to me that 2 Justins are playing third base tonight, Justin Wright and Justin Foscue. odd note, as this is Justin Cohen joining you from the booth for the Mohawks. And the pitch in from Boussault, the 1-2, got him looking. So Boussault records a strikeout on John Malcolm. That'll be the first out of the inning.
Top scout, first base dugout.
Now batting. The left field.
It'll now be Griffin Herrera up
Number 23.
out of Azusa Pacific. Except if we have a pinch hitter, which appears to be the case.
Your attention. Now pitch hitting for the Albany Dutchmen. From Siena College, number 18, Zach Durfee.
The pinch hitter is Zach Durfee out of Siena. So that one's away for a ball. Lucas Dunn thought about swiping home there, but did not get a good enough of a jump, and so he'll remain on third base with one out. Durfee, as we mentioned, out of Siena College. He's batting .203 on the season and 79 at-bats. No home runs to speak of, but and that bounces off Elvis Peralta's glove as he tries to lay out for a great play. And he'll be on there with a yet-to-be-determined error or single. I think we're going to rule that one a single. So Griffin Herrera is pinch hit for, and it pays off as Zach Durfee gets on base and gets the RBI. It's 1-1 now, tie game, as Dunn came in from third there after it glanced off of Elvis Peralta's glove. Brandon Seltzer now at the plate, wearing number 9. Another pinch hitter back-to-back as they're trying to get reps in for everybody before the winner-go-home game tomorrow. This was expected from the Dutchmen, as we saw in their pregame lineup that they already had a lot of their pinch hitters lined up and ready to go. As Durfee takes a nice lead at first base with Boussault quickly behind 2-0. Control has been a bit of an issue with Boussault, as he's had 17 walks and 16.1 innings heading into tonight, but has had that generally under control so far. And the pitch in is high and away, so Boussault falls behind 3-0 to Brandon Seltzer. Brandon Seltzer is batting .337 on the season, good for second on the Dutchman lineup. The Dutchman roster, that is. He has 14 RBI. He's also been hit by 4 pitches, second most on the team, I believe. And he'll take that 3-0 in for a strike, taking all the way. So 3-1 now to Brandon Seltzer. Runner on first with 1 out. Seltzer has a .700 batting average against the Mohawks this season, as he loops that one into center field, and that is far back, and that is gone. Brandon Seltzer with the home run, as the Mohawks fall behind here 3-1, as Brandon Seltzer hits his 4th home run of the season. So the Mohawks will have a deficit to make up, as after scoring 1 in the bottom of the 5th, the Dutchman responds with 3 of their own in the top of the 6th, and it's a 3-1 ball game. Brad Boussault will stay out there. Jerry Hunsinger not being pinch hit for, as he's a catcher, so that's a little bit rarer. Although we have seen even pitchers come in and catch, as that'll be high and tight in for a ball. And as will be true for most of the night, we have somebody warming up in the Mohawks bullpen, as that one crashed into the strike zone after appearing to be high and inside again. It was an off-speed pitch that sort of slid down into the strike zone. It's 1-1. Next off from Boussault again, off speed, coming in at 75 miles an hour. And it's a 1-2 count now for Boussault. He's ahead of Jerry Hunsinger with 1 out. He's already given up 3 runs, all of them earned this inning. And that one's high. Shane Muntz keeps it from going back to the backstop, although there would have been no consequence there as there are no base runners on after Brendan Seltzer hit his 4th home run of the year. He'll also rack on RBIs 15 and 16. And another pitch high and away will bring the count full. Hunsinger 0 for 2 so far tonight. He's flown out deep to left field in the 4th inning, along with in the 2nd inning, grounding into a double play. As we're set here for a 3-2, and it's high and away. That'll be ball 4, and Coach Griffin will come out to the mound to try settle down Bussauld and buy his pitcher in the bullpen some more time. As I've mentioned throughout the night, that there are no real consequences for either team for losing. It's just for morale's sake, as they will be here again tomorrow night. Although I will check the weather before I say that so confidently, as we are on pace for thunderstorms tomorrow at last check. Muntz, Bussauld, and Coach Griffin convene at the mound. It looks like Coach Griffin's just telling him to settle down. A no stress situation, even though he's let up 3 runs this inning, as the umpire will go to break it up, but Coach Griffin will depart before the umpire will get there, and we will resume play. So it'll be number 17, Justin Wright, at third base, who will be batting next. He is an incoming freshman at St. John's, so he will be partners in crime with Mike Antico when he arrives at St. John's in the fall. As Bussauld checks the runner at first, that'll be Hunsinger. See Bussauld with a fresh count here. It's 0-0 with 1 out. And the pitch into right is away, so it's 1-0. Mohawks playing at double play depth, but in on the corners, straight away in the outfield. For those of you hoping to come to the game tomorrow, the chance of rain has dropped. It was in the 80s and 90 percents, but it's down to 60 at game time as Hunsinger runs, and it looks like Tanner Allen dropped the ball, although I don't think the tag was in time anyways, and he'll be on with a steal. So it's
our interns are coming around with Burger King gift certificates. Make sure
it's 2-0 to Justin Wright right now,
to your seats. Hand them out.
with Jerry Hunsinger at second after the steal. It also looks like the threat of thunderstorms is down tomorrow. And that's on for a strike, so it's 2-1 now after the swing and miss. The game's usually called by 3:30 in the afternoon, so if you're planning on coming, make sure you are on our Facebook and Twitter pages, constantly refreshing. As that one's high and away for a ball, it's 3-1 now. Bussauld behind again. Bussauld so far this inning has let up a walk, only 1, but he's also let up 2 singles, along with a couple of pass balls as that one's cut on and missed. Looks like it was Lucas Dunn who advanced to second on a pass ball. Could have been argued that was a wild pitch. It was high and away, but Shane Muntz was in a position where he probably should have been able to get it, so it was ruled a pass ball. Full count here, and that one will be high to Justin Wright. And it looks like we'll have a pitching change here, as Brad Bussauld has gotten through an inning and a third, letting up 3 runs. We'll have runners on first and second when we return, with 1 out in the top of the 6th inning. The Mohawks now trail 3-1. This is the Amsterdam Mohawks Radio Network on YouTube Live.
From Wake Forest University,
And we'll have two changes here. We'll have Michael Hughes in for the Mohawks to pitch, and we'll also have Cole McNamee, teammates at Wake Forest with Shane Muntz and Michael Ludwig, up to bat, pinch hitting. And he'll foul a first pitch off. Michael Hughes so far in the season's been in 4 games, pitched 4.2 innings, letting up 6 runs, all of them earned, for an 11.57 ERA. He, let's see, 3 strikeouts against 3 walks, and not a ton of time here. He's out of St. Rose, a late addition to the team. As it's a double steal, and Shane Muntz will bobble the ball, so both will get there safely. So a double steal here, even though Hughes is ahead on the runner, ahead on the batter, 0-2. A strikeout here could be huge, as it would eliminate the need for an intentional walk to get a double play, as time is called by Shane Muntz, it appears, as the umpire pointed towards him as he called time. It's McNamee up to the plate. He's batting .364 against the Mohawks this season, and he shoots that one down the left field line, but it'll be foul. And the count remains 0-2. The runners on second and third are Justin Wright and Jerry Hunsinger, both of whom got on with walks off of pitcher Brad Boussault, as Brad Boussault consistently inconsistent with his control, but limited the damage so far to 3 runs, as McNamee will be caught swinging, and Shane Muntz will put the squeeze on, make sure he doesn't bobble the tip ball. So that'll be out number 2 for the Mohawks this inning, as Hughes comes on and gets the strikeout to to start his night against McNamee.
Your attention, please.
We'll have another pinch hitter here.
For the Dutchman from Seton Hall University, number 2, Ryan Lutz.
This will be Ryan Lutz out of Seton Hall University, is the 4th pinch hitter of the inning for the Dutchmen. As at some point they have to run out of pinch hitters, although not yet, as that one's in for a ball. It's 1-0. Ryan Lutz is only batting $104 on the season in 48 at-bats. He has 5 hits, 2 ribbies and 3 walks. As that one's in for a strike, it's 1-1. Lutz is hitless in 8 at-bats against the Mohawks, but does have a run scored after he walked once. Lutz now even with Hughes in the count, 1-1, and it's grounded to the second baseman Allen, who scoops it and throws to Barella for the 3rd out. So Michael Hughes comes in to limit the damage, and on 3 hits in the inning, the Dutchmen score 3 and leave 1 on base. Sorry, 2 on base. So we will head to the bottom of the 6th now. The Mohawks trailing 1-3. It's the Amsterdam Mohawks Radio Network on YouTube Live. And we are back here for the bottom of the 6th. We have multiple changes in fielding positions for the Dutchmen that we are struggling to figure out here. What we figured out so far is we believe Lucas Dunn has moved to center field as Michael Ludwig tries to bunt one down the 3rd baseline but gets a little bit too much of it, and it'll roll over to Coach Griffin instead of towards the 3rd baseman. We believe Ryan Lutz, who ended last inning, is now at shortstop, a defensive replacement there. And he'll take that one for a strike, and it's 0-2. Ludwig usually successful against the Dutchmen. He's 10 for 25 on the season against them, to go along with a stellar team-leading 347 batting average, and he'll take that one for a ball. And it looks like Cole McNamee is at first base. So we've now discovered two of the defensive replacements in for the Dutchmen, as that one swung on and missed by Michael Ludwig for the first out of the inning. So Ludwig falls victim to the strikeout, and it's Tanner Allen that'll come up next as the Mohawks look to rally in the back half of this game, being down 3-1 and only having one hit. They were shut out last night in Saugerties. Last night also did not have an effect on their seeding, as they were finished in second as long as Jamestown won, which they walked off on Geneva on a Little League home run, as they the hitter for Jamestown got a triple and then they threw it away, and the runner trotted home from third base easily. Tanner Allen will foul that one off into the woods, and it's 1-1. So Tanner Allen with the 1-1 count, one out. We'll take that one high, and it's 2-1 now. Defense is playing relatively far back against the power hitter Tanner Allen. Elsewhere around the league, Geneva is up 10-2 on Jamestown. Geneva is playing in a play-in game with Elmira tomorrow, and that one swung on and lifted to left center field. Center fielder and left fielder coming on. It's the left fielder who catches it for out number 2. So Tanner Allen retired. It is Nick Bruno who remains on the mound, number 14 out of Siena College.
Number 39, Shane Muntz.
Shane Muntz now at the plate for the Mohawks. Watertown is up 9-1 on Saugerties, so if that holds, Watertown will go to the playoffs to face Mohawk Valley in a sudden death game. And the pitch to Shane Muntz is high, and it's 1-0 with 2 outs now. Elsewhere around the league, Adirondack is up on Mohawk Valley 4-2, and Elmira is up on Newark 6-4. Along with it being 1-3 here in favor of the Albany Dutchmen, as that one's fouled off, and it's 1-1.
We have a winning number.
With the new playoff format this year, Elmira and Geneva both make the playoffs. As Jamestown had the best record in the league, the second and third place teams in that division will play a play-in game, as Jamestown automatically makes it to the semifinals. The only issue with that being is Geneva and Elmira both were under 500 this year, as Shane Muntz swings and misses at that pitch.
050-318-050.
As Elmira is 20-26 heading into the night for a .435 winning percentage, something that the top 3 teams in each of the other divisions could get in with, however are unable to, as Shane Muntz pops that one up, and it'll head out to center field, and the center fielder will make the catch. So another 1-2-3 inning here for the Mohawks as they're sat down in order. No runs on no hits for the Mohawks, and we'll head to the top of the 7th. And we expect Zach Kerr to be the pitcher here, although we'll wait and see. This is the Amsterdam Mohawks Radio Network on YouTube Live. It will be the second baseman out of Azusa Pacific College, Nick Estrella, to lead off the inning with the bottom of the order. It's Michael Hughes that remains on the pitcher's mound for the Mohawks, as his first pitch into the inning is low for a ball. Johnny Decker is in at second base for Tanner Allen. At least we believe that's for Tanner Allen. And that pitch into Estrella is a strike as it swung on and missed, and it's 1-1 now. We're waiting to see to make sure that it is Tanner Allen who indeed is out, as it's possible that he moved to one of the outfield positions that are a little bit trickier for us to see. So Nick Estrella takes that one low and away for a ball. It's 2-1. Estrella batting .308 against the Mohawks heading into tonight. And he takes that one low and away, and it's 3-1 quickly to Nick Estrella, coming from Michael Hughes. It appears that if need be, we have a couple of guys ready in the bullpen. As now that it is 9 o'clock, the stands have started to empty out there, and Nick Estrella cuts and misses at the off-speed pitch, coming in at just a hair under 80 miles an hour, 79. And it'll be a full count here to Estrella. And that one's low and outside. And so Nick Estrella will be on with a walk. The leadoff walk for Estrella.
Now batting, the shortstop.
Up next will be the shortstop from Louisville, Lucas Dunn. Lucas Dunn currently has the game. He has the tying run right now, as he scored the first run of the night for the Mohawks, or for the Dutchmen, sorry. And he'll take that first one low and away for a ball. He's 1 for 2 with a hit by pitch on the night. That single coming in the last inning, the top of the 6th, where he came around to score. And that one's cut on and fouled back over the grandstand. And it'll be 1-1. Again, just a tune-up game before tomorrow, as we have a couple of different storylines to watch. And we have a runner going. Shane Muntz again bobbles the ball, and he is annoyed at himself clearly. So it is Nick Estrella who jumps over to second base on the stolen base. Shane Muntz has thrown out one batter tonight, but other than that, they've been running all over him. As I believe that is the 3rd stolen base of the night. Although I am now being told by Ian Klassen, who's stepping in for me tonight on the statistics side of things, that is actually their 5th stolen base of the night, which is incredible, and will certainly bring them up in the stolen base department in the overall standings. And it's quickly 3-1 to Lucas Dunn. Albany with a decent-sized contingent tonight. I would expect that to be much bigger tomorrow. But still nice down by the Albany bench, as that one's cut on and missed. It's 3-2. And if you thought the Mohawks game on Saturday was ugly, with it being 21-8, you only have to look at the Mets game, as that one's taken inside for a ball, and he'll be on with a walk. So now it'll be 2 on for John Malcolm, the designated hitter. The Mets are now down 19-0 against the Nationals. So, there's no mercy rule in baseball. I thought that was proven on Saturday in the 21-8 game, but it took the Mets to prove otherwise, that a 19-0 shutout still does not get you mercy ruled. As I am in dismay here, being a Mets fan. And that pitch by John Malcolm is popped up to the third baseman, Foscue, who ranges over and settles under it for the second out of the inning. So now with 2 on and 2 out for the Dutchmen, it is a former pinch hitter coming up to the plate as I pull up his numbers. That'll be number 18, Zach Durfee, now in right field.
Left fielder. Zach Durfee.
As the PA announcer suggests he's in left field, but we think otherwise. We think he's in right. And he'll quickly line that one into the hole for a single, and he'll come around, and Michael Hughes will cut that one off. And it was actually Justin Foscue who cut that one off in between third and home plate, as that was on line and probably could have gotten him out. But instead, it'll be 4-1, as it is Nick Estrella who crosses the plate there after some nice base running and some over-anxious defense out of Justin Foscue, as the throw-in from Jake Hammond was decent and might have had a chance. So, the strike there and the check of the runner at first. Zach Durfee at first. Nothing doing there. It's 0-1. Apologize, it looks like there's only 1 out. I got ahead of myself there. A rough effort tonight for the Mohawks so far, but they'll look to turn it around. And the pitch in by Hughes is low and away. So it'll be 1-1 now. Another former pinch hitter, Brandon Seltzer. Brandon Seltzer took Bussault deep last inning, as the double steal is in effect, and that one is off the wall in left field. Jake Hammond has trouble picking it up, but throws over to second, and the throw missed, but thank goodness Richie Burrell is playing backup to second baseman Johnny Decker. Otherwise, that could have been even worse. But the 2-run double still scores. Looks to be Zach Durfee and Lucas Dunn. And it'll be 6-1 Mohawks, as this game is getting away from the Mohawks here. With 1 out here in the top of the 7th, the Dutchmen have put up back-to-back 3-run innings. This inning they only have 2 hits to get those 3 runs. That one is cut on him and swung back past Michael Hughes onto the second baseman. Second baseman will throw it over Richie Barella, and we'll get the out there. The runner, Brandon Seltzer, moves over to third. Brandon Seltzer has been quite the Mohawk killer this year. He came into the game 7 for 10 against the Mohawks with 3 walks as well, scoring 5 runs. Since then, he's 2 for 2 with another 4 RBI and a home run and a double. He's now on third base with 2 outs, as Justin Wright takes that one for a strike, and it'll be 0-1 with 2 outs here. The throw in from Hughes is in the dirt, and it's 1-1. As this looks to be Hughes' inning, as there are a couple people in the bullpen, but Coach Griffin has not come out yet. And with 2 outs and 1-1 count, Hughes gets a swing and miss out of Justin Wright, and he's 1 strike away from getting out of this inning. Defense playing back, not worried about conceding the runner, as all they need is the force at first. No need to play the defense in now. And that is cut on. A check swing will strike him out, as it took a confirmation by the infield umpire. But Justin Wright strikes out, and so that'll be 3 runs on 2 hits as we head into the 7th inning stretch. It's 6-1 Dutchmen as this is the Mohawks Radio Network on YouTube Live. It's RBI leader and home run leader Joe Genord, who comes out to lead off the bottom of the 7th for the Mohawks after a beautiful rendition of God Bless America and taking out to the ballgame by the Revisions. So we're going to start fresh here from the top. It's 6-1 Dutchmen. Dutchmen outpacing the Mohawks as well, 6-1 in hits. Joe Genord takes that first one for a strike. As we head through towards the bottom third of this game, that'll even up the count here. Nick Bruno still out on the mound after coming in with 2 outs in the 4th. 2 outs in the 5th, sorry. So this is his second full inning of work here, as he'll catch Joe Genord swinging. It's 1-2. For those of you Major League Baseball fans out there, there was an interesting conversation about the Los Angeles Dodgers wearing T-shirts during batting practice recently. And if you get a chance up close to see a Mohawks uniform tonight, as Joe Genord fouls that one back and it'll remain 1-2, they are wearing white vests with their numbers on them, wearing red T-shirts underneath, dry fit, along with their standard baseball pants. So a unique clothing option for the Mohawks, as the Dodgers were not harassed but condemned, as that one's high and away for a ball. It's 2-2. They were condemned by the Braves radio announcers for wearing T-shirts during batting practice. Here we have jersey vests, as that one was low and outside, but the umpire rings up Joe Genord on strikes, and so Joe Genord caught looking there, and it'll be 1 out in the bottom of the 7th.
Third baseman for Mississippi State, number 25, Justin Foscue.
Justin Foscue out of Mississippi State will come up to the plate. Foscue so far on the night is 0 for 1. He was hit by a pitch in the 5th inning and flew out to center field in the 2nd. Another nice part about Veterans Night, the Mohawks are also wearing their camo hats in support of veterans, as that one's low and away to even up the count 1-1. We had our final Veterans Tuesday presentation, barring any potential playoff games on a Tuesday, as the pitch comes in from Bruno, and it's fouled off, 1-2. And any veteran, as that rings off the grandstand ceiling. And so every veteran that walks into the stadium on Veterans Tuesday signs this banner as sort of a marker of support and a record of who's come by. And the pitch in from Bruno is fouled off yet again by Justin Foscue, and the count will remain 1-2. Well, in the middle of the 6th and 7th innings, we presented that banner to a veteran with, I believe he had well over 20 years of service and is now working with kids and I believe special needs kids, although I'd have to check in on that as Foscue cuts and misses. So that'll be the 2nd out and 2 strikeouts this inning for Nick Bruno. So it was very nice to see, and we presented him with that banner for him to hang up in his office. And it was well decorated with lots and lots of signatures, as veterans are very frequent Shuttleworth Park very often on Tuesdays, as A, they love baseball, but B, free admission and free food for veterans. Elvis Peralta Jr. now at the plate takes that one outside. It's 1-0 as the catcher Hunsinger tried to squeeze that one in and frame it for a strike, but the umpire wasn't fooled, and it's 1-0. Infield playing back against Peralta. And he'll swing and miss at that one. It's 1-1. Elvis Peralta Jr. hasn't been retired yet tonight. Actually, he has. He was caught stealing in the second, but he's gotten on base both times he's been up. He's had 2 walks, including he scored the only run after a stolen base in the 5th, and a Jake Hammond single, as that's cut on and missed by Elvis Peralta Jr., and it's 1-2. So Elvis Peralta Jr. adds on 2 walks to what was a meager walk total. All of a sudden shooting up the Mohawk rankings with 2, and he'll cut on and miss, and that's a quick inning for Zach Durfee as he strikes out the side. For Nick Bruno as he strikes out the side. And we'll have our Fairway Carts Unlimited bullpen cart head to our bullpen and onto the pitcher's mound as we see who's joining us next from the Mohawks bullpen. It's 6-1 Dutchmen, no runs on no hits with 0 left on after 3 strikeouts by Nick Bruno. This is the Amsterdam Mohawks Radio Network on YouTube Live. And I am happy to introduce that former intern Zach Kerr is up on the pitcher's mound. Zach Kerr out of Springfield College started the season as an intern, and he gets that one fouled off. It'll be Cole McNamee, who came in last inning. Sorry, in the top of the 6th inning to pinch hit for Ubaldo Lopez. So it's Cole McNamee who struck out in his first at-bat of the night. Quickly behind 0-2 to submariner Zach Kerr. Zach Kerr was my former intern to start the season, but he also is a D3 pitcher, and Coach Griffin said, hey, you can pitch, why not join us? And he'll strike out Cole McNamee on 3 pitches. And it's 1 out now for the Mohawks, as Cole McNamee strikes out swinging for the 2nd time tonight in as many at-bats.
Now then, from Seton Hall University, number 2, Ryan Lutz.
It's Ryan Lutz who comes up to the plate next. And Zach Kerr gets another strike. And so 4 pitches into his evening, Zach Kerr is on fire as he's pitched 4 straight strikes. And that one will go for a ball. So it's 1-1 now to Ryan Lutz. Zach Kerr on the season in 4 appearances has gone 2.2 innings. As that one is away for a ball, it's 2-1. He also has only given up 1 hit, though. 2 earned runs and 3 walks. As that one is cut over to Elvis Peralta Jr., who's charging and throws on to first. And the umpire says we got Ryan Lutz at first, although there is now a discussion with that infield umpire as it was a close play. But Ryan Lutz will head back to the dugout. So Zach Kerr starts off his evening with 2 outs, a strikeout and a ground out. It's now Nick Estrella in the bottom of the order in the 9-hole coming up, and he'll take his first pitch in low and inside for a ball. It's 1-0. The Dutchmen have scored 3 runs in the previous 2 innings each. Put their score up 6-1 over the Mohawks, who scored their only run in the 5th inning. They used a pinch hit home run by Brandon Seltzer to score 2 runs, as well as a Zach Durfee pinch hit single to score their 3 runs in the 6th. Their 3 runs in the 7th were scored off of a walk, a single, a single, and a double. The double by Brandon Seltzer for 2 RBIs. So Brandon Seltzer has 4 RBIs tonight as that one shot to left field. And it'll be caught by Jake Hammond for the out right up against the wall. So Zach Kerr retires them in order. Former intern doing work. And it is 6-1 Dutchmen as we head to the bottom of the 8th. So 0 runs on 0 hits, 0 left on base. It's the Amsterdam Mohawks Radio Network on YouTube Live. It's Golston Gillespie now joining us from the Dutchman bullpen, which is shocking as it is now the, I believe, 3rd consecutive position player who is now pitching for the Dutchman. I will look to see if he has any stats whatsoever from the pitcher's mound, but Mike Antico now up at the plate, leading off for the Mohawks as they try and crawl back from a 6-1 deficit. He takes that one for a ball. And he'll swing and miss at that one, so it's 1-1 now. As Golston Gillespie does not have any pitching experience this season. Mike Antico lifts that one to left center field. We'll see if it gets down. And it's the center fielder ranging over and getting it. It's Michael Whalen who makes a nice play. I'll tell you what, even if Golston Gillespie hasn't had any pitching experience, he's had some nice success at the plate. He's 5 for 19 against the Mohawks this season. as well as batting .235 on the season with 5 home runs, tied for the lead for all Dutchmen. It's now Richie Nitsa who is pinch hitting now for Jake Hammond. We'll see where Richie Nitsa slots into the defensive alignment, but he'll swing and miss at that first pitch for a strike. And that one will be will be taken away, so it's 1-1. Up high, it's 2-1. Richie Nitsa on the season is batting .244 and 86 at-bats. Just a hair lower than Mike Antica, who was at .245 entering tonight. And Richie Nitsa makes some solid contact as that hits over to left field, and it's tracked down by a left fielder. That's going to be...
Now batting, the first baseman from Manhattan College, number 20, Richie Barella.
Left fielder is currently, we believe, Brandon Seltzer, although it may be Zach Durfee. We're not entirely sure. That's going to be Brandon Seltzer most likely. It's Richie Barella now up, and he'll take that one outside for a ball. Gillespie hails from Ole Miss. He's a freshman there, incoming sophomore. He's also from Isla, Georgia. Hope I'm pronouncing that one right. And it's 2-0 now to Richie Barella. Golston Gillespie was able to get 2 outs rather quickly here in the 8th inning. And Richie Barella grounds that one to shortstop. Richie Barella hustling down the line, makes it close, but he is out at first base. And it's another 1-2-3 inning for the Mohawks. 0 runs on 0 hits for the Mohawks with 0 left on base. Hopefully they're saving something for the playoffs tomorrow. It is 6-1 Dutchmen as we head to the top of the 9th. This is the Amsterdam Mohawks Radio Network on YouTube Live. And we are back here from Shuttleworth Park. Zach Kerr stays out onto the mound. Easy to pick out from his submarine delivery, and that's a quick strike for Zach Kerr. Richie Nitsa slots into left field, replacing Jake Hammond. As that one's taken inside, it's 1-1. Although it has cooled off a little bit here as night has fallen upon us, it certainly hasn't gotten any less muggy as the mosquitoes are out. That one's low and away for a ball, 2-1. Now at the plate is number 5, Lucas Dunn, who makes some nice contact and goes into left field to face Richie Nitsa. Richie Nitsa settles under it and catches it for the first out of the inning. So the Mohawks are 2 outs away from getting out of this game, although they will have last licks in the bottom of the 9th to try and come back from whatever deficit that may be, although we're hoping it's just 6-1 here. John Malcolm on the night is 0 for 3. He struck out twice as well, as all concessions are now $1. My favorite part of the evening here. And John Malcolm takes that second pitch in for a ball as well, so Zach Kerr falls behind 2-0. And now 3-0 as that's slowing inside. Zach Kerr working quickly here. Still with 1 out. Still hasn't let up a hit so far through 1 1/3 innings. And that'll be a 4-pitch walk, as that one just off the outside of the plate. And John Malcolm will get on. Looking forward to tomorrow. Adam Agresta should be rejoining me. He'll be the play-by-play, and I will return to color commentary if there is a game, which there is a game scheduled currently, but considering the forecast, it looks unlikely right now. John Malcolm gets a check at first base from Zach Kerr. And that throwback by Richie Brella wasn't great, but it was good enough, as John Malcolm thought about running on the throwback, as that one is low for a ball. It is Zach Durfee at the plate. Zach Durfee had a single and came around to score in the 6th. So a 1-1 count to Durfee after that last pitch. John Malcolm being roughly held on at first by Richie Barella, although Zach Kerr didn't even look at him before pitching, and it's 2-1 now to Zach Durfee with John Malcolm at first. John Malcolm has 2 stolen bases on the season heading into tonight. And it looks like he's trying to tack one on here as he takes some massive leads, but a double play ball. Justin Foscue, and he is unable to get the speedy Zach Durfee, so we get the out at second for the second out of the inning of John Malcolm, but we are unable to draw the double play there as Zach Durfee got down the line a little bit too fast. Still, we'll take the out, and it is a fielder's choice. It's Brandon Seltzer out of Fairleigh Dickinson, who quickly says something to either the umpire or Shane Muntz, I couldn't tell who, before settling into the batter's box with his stance. And Zach Kerr's first pitch of the at-bat is away for a ball. It's 1-0. It was just announced we had close to 1,500 people show up for the game tonight. 1,483, I believe. As that's in for a strike, it's 1-1. We had a guessing game, and one person guessed 1,000, the other person guessed 1,437, I believe. So it's obvious who won that one. As the check swing, he didn't go all the way around, says the infield umpire, and it's 2-1 now. The pitch low from Zach Kerr. He's hunting for that final out of the inning to get the Mohawks through 9 innings pitched. Try and get the bats alive in the home half of the 9th here. And that one will be inside, and he's on with a walk. So 2 on for who might be a pinch hitter. Zach Kerr will face him, though. Looks to be number 4. Number 4 is Jerry Huntsinger. As it was announced, it was a third baseman, but it is most certainly Jerry Huntsinger. So Jerry Huntsinger up to the bat. Brandon Seltzer and Zach Durfee are on right now. First and second. Seltzer at first, Durfee at second. First pitch is in for a ball. And another ball, so it's 2-0 as Zach Kerr tries to regain his control here. Still has not let up a hit, although does have 2 walks this inning. 3 walks this inning, as one of his walks was erased by a fielder's choice, as that one's grounded to the left side past the third base coach, and it'll be 2-1. The Mohawks have scored 1 run in their past 17 innings at least, although I don't believe they scored in the 9th inning of their game on Sunday either, so that's 18 innings. They didn't need to, so that's actually 17 innings because it was the home half. So they've scored 1 run in 17 innings there, as Zach Kerr misses for a ball. So for a team that normally scores 6.5 runs a game or so, they'll be looking to rebound. And that one's on the inside corner for a strike. Jerry Hunsinger didn't think so, but it's a full count now with 2 outs. The runners will be in motion. As the pitch, and Jerry Hunsinger swings and misses, so Zach Kerr gets out of the jam with no runs on no hits, 2 left on base. The Mohawks look to strike back here. It's 6-1 Dutchmen heading into the bottom of the 9th. Last licks for the Mohawks coming up. This is the Amsterdam Mohawks Radio Network on YouTube Live. As the first 2 pitches into Michael Ludwig are split for a ball and a strike, and it's 1-1 now to Michael Ludwig. Ludwig swings and fouls that one back. It's 1-2. The Mohawks, assuming everybody stays in, will have Ludwig, Johnny Decker, and Shane Muntz. As Ludwig strikes out, and it's quickly 1 out here for the Mohawks, as they're down to their last 2 before tomorrow night. Johnny Decker now up to the plate. Johnny Decker is 0 for 1 so far against the Mohawks, and it'll be 0 for 2 after he grounds that one to the second baseman. Decker, a speedster, made it close at first base, but he was out. And the Mohawks are down to their final out here in the bottom of the 9th. It's the catcher Shane Muntz out of Wake Forest trying to get a 2-out rally together. They need 5, so it's a daunting prospect to come back, but We'll see what Shane Muntz can wrangle up here. And he'll foul that first pitch off for strike. And it'll be 0-1. The Mohawks getting one hit by multiple Dutchmen pitchers. It'll be the pitcher who pitched the 6th who gets the winning mark, as that one's fouled back. Actually, it'll be the one that ended the 5th, whoever that was. And the 0-2 into Shane Muntz is just outside, so he stays alive. It's 1-2. It's Nick Bruno who looks to get the win here. Should they hold on, but Shane Muntz isn't done yet. He'll stroke that one to left field, and it's tracked down by the left fielder. So the Mohawks are retired here in order. Game over. The Dutchmen take this one 6-1. Winning pitcher is Nick Bruno. Losing pitcher is Brad Boussault. No save credited with the 5-run lead. We will join you tomorrow from Shuttleworth Park once again for a game that matters. A win-or-go-home game for the Mohawks and Dutchmen in the playoffs for a trip to the semifinals of the PGCBL Championship. This is Justin Cohen signing off for the Amsterdam Mohawks Radio Network and everybody here at the Amsterdam Mohawks, saying have a lovely good night. The Mohawks lose this one 6-1, and we'll rejoin you tomorrow at 6:35 for a game against the Albany Dutchmen. Have a wonderful night, everybody.